Good morning, everybody. Welcome from the land of Kleintwin. I have finished this immense warp, which has been fun and challenging, to say the least. If you remember from my previous report, I got donated this yarn by the Wool Cafe. As I said, it's quite an antique yarn, doesn't exist anymore. Jaeger Summer Spun, which is, if I remember correctly, there we go, 55% viscose, 45% cotton, 50 grams, doesn't say how much is on a ball, mostly in this beige and white with one pop of, or there were two of these turquoise and just one pink. So I don't know if you can tell in here, every now and then I've just added some of the pink. And then I started running out of, and then a cotton, a very fine cotton, this Tridalia Super 5 crochet cotton, which was 100% cotton. Let's see if you can see it here. There we go. It's very, very fine crochet cotton yarn. I ran out of that. So this morning when I went to the Wool Cafe, we always like putting heads together. So we decided on this one, which is not a crochet cotton. It's a bit thicker. It's let's say like a thin DK, but thicker than a 4-ply. It is the Himalaya Bamboo Deluxe, which is 60% bamboo, 40% cotton. But oh my goodness, is this soft. I think I actually want to weave something just entirely with this. It is absolutely amazing. It's like a cloud. And then equally soft, this is just as gorgeous, is this Fibra Natura Luxor, which is 100% Egyptian Giza mercerized cotton. So because this is so very fine and definitely not meant for weaving and definitely not in the weft, so I've interspersed it with the thicker yarns. So in the center I have the Luxor cotton, and then every now and then on the edge I've got the Luxor cotton and the bamboo. Same on this side. And then just for fun, I popped in a few stripes of the turquoise here. So the plan is that this is going to be a poncho shawl type thing. So this is the center of it, and about halfway down over here somewhere, I'm going to weave a hole, and so that can go over your head. So these will be the two sides. That's why I want them a little bit stronger. And then this will be the center panel where it goes around the neck. So also a little bit stronger. And then we'll see what happens with this very, very thin, fine yarn. Let's take a walk all the way down to the other side. The other thing I wanted to show you are my warping sticks, which have been working like a charm. So I just lifted up this side, slip the yarn over and put it down again, and as you can see, it keeps the yarn completely parallel to the loom, and all the warp strings nice and straight and relatively same tension. Then all I will do is this frame is on wheels, as you can see. So all I need to do now is as I wind the loom up, this will just gradually move over that way. Well, that is the plan. And why two, you might ask? Well, first of all, because I have two of these plastic pipes. And secondly, I did half the warp on the one pipe and half the warp on the other pipe, because you see each time I add a strand, I have to lift it up and it pivots on the other side. So I didn't want to disturb these that are already on. And then the second reason was because I did have an idea of adding more yarn into each eyelet, especially here where this very fine yarn is. I was going to put more of that number 5 cotton, but apparently they don't make crochet cotton anymore. It's all acrylic, And this is all cotton and bamboo and viscose and natural fibers, tree or plant fibers. So I didn't want to add an acrylic. So the idea was to have another rod at the back, because that way you can add yarn randomly along the length of your warp. You don't have to add it from the one side. So if you imagine if I had another pole here, I could, wherever I want to, add more warp yarns, and they would not interfere with the ones that are on here already, and they would all be at the same tension. So I imagine you can have as many rods as you want for as many different warp threads as you want. I could have put all these different types of yarn each on their own rod. So I'm quite chuffed with that clever idea of mine. But I think that's about all I want to say. So once I've rolled up and threaded, the threading is going to take forever, I can just tell. I will report back. Okay, bye.